Hey, it's your girl, Bridget Brown Jackson. Listen, it is so great to be here. One, it's so great to be here because, listen, you open up uh, your eyes in the morning and you breathe God's breath. It's a blessing. Okay, so I know you might be wrapping up your day. I know I am. I've had a long day, a lot of stuff going on. But I'm wrapping up. But um, I've been doing these lives because I love talking. First of all, I'm a behavioral strategist. So maybe you're listening, you tuning in, you just happen to pop in, and you don't know who I am. My name is Bridget Brown Jackson. I'm a behavioral strategist, and I help leaders develop their leadership as well as teams develop their teams, right? And so I've been just talking about a lot about emotional intelligence because it's so very important. One of the things that I discovered was understanding that takes you to a whole nother level because most people do not have an awareness like they should. We work really hard on our hard skills. We work really, really hard in acquiring knowledge. We work really, really hard about getting those degrees and doing the things we do. But do we actually treat EQ, which is emotional intelligence, the same way? And so I've been spending a couple of days talking about this. So today I'm gonna be in and out in less than 10. So to tell you about this. So we're talking tonight about self-regulation. Another word for it would be emotional management. How do you manage your emotions? And so I want everybody to literally to understand it to a deep, deep level, to know that when you own your emotions, you can truly, truly lead effectively. Now, whether you lead a team or not, you still lead yourself. Whether you lead a team or not, you still influence other people. Everybody is an influencer. You don't have to be like the social media influencers, but everybody influences people. And so as you're doing that, I want you to think about that and think about your leadership journey. So again, you might be leading your children. You might be leading a team of 25 people. You might have a team like I had. One of my positions, I had a team of almost 70 people. So if you're doing all of that, you need to make sure that you're conscientious about your emotional management. All right, let's dive in. Let's dive into this. So first thing I love talking, first of all, in threes. And so if you listen to my podcast, I have a podcast called Powerful. I talk about threes a lot. I talk in threes. And so today we're going to give you these and again, move on out of the way. Navigating the storm. So, in other words, do you have strategies for your emotional regulation? Are you able to do the things that you need to do? For instance, imagine you're in the middle of a whirlwind, like a serious whirlwind. Emotions are swirling like crazy. And when I say emotions, I don't want you to think of it as just negative emotions. What if you have all of these? They can be positive emotions, but you don't even know what to do with them. So, whatever those emotions are, they're swirling like crazy. Self regulation is trying to have that trusty rudder. So, in other words, and I'm not nautical at all, nautical meaning on the water with ships, right? But there's a rudder on the boat. And that rudder is going to help you guide you, right? And so if it's guiding you into calmer waters, how are you again managing those emotional responses? So you want to keep you up when things go chaotic, but also what do you do when things are great? I'll give you an example of that. I remember when I first became a school administrator, I had been a teacher for like 10 years. And so when I got my first administrative job, you all know I cried. Listen, who cries when they get a promotion? I cried going to work. But what was going on, that's that emotional regulation, that emotional management. I was excited about it, but at the same time, I was going through a divorce. You see where I was going. My emotions were all over the place and everything. So it can be positive emotions, it can be negative emotions, but do you know how to allow those emotions to guide you and to maneuver when you need to? So, by getting a hang of your self regulation, you basically are taking charge of the emotional tempest. So the tempest out there in the water. The water is going crazy and all of that stuff, but you're able to use your self management as a rudder to guide you. All right. So that's the first thing, navigating the storm. And then what do you do about decision making, conflict resolution, and creating that positive environment? So for here, I want to talk to people that have teams. So let's say you have a team. Guess what? If you think of self-regulation as your guiding lighthouse, okay? Think about being out on the water, and you're out there and it's foggy and everything. What you can see though is the lighthouse, the beam of the lighthouse. So that is what happens when you want to make decisions. When you want to make decisions, you got to have some self-regulation. All right, because you could be all over the place as a decision maker, as a leader. Your emotions are so very important. So you want them to come from a place of logic. You want them to come from a place of seriousness. And when you have that emotional equilibrium, guess what? You can guide your teams with confidence, and you also can show them that they can trust you. All right. So we really do have to have a harness, if you will. And I'm laughing because of the word harness, because I use the word harness. But anybody is out there that know about Chat GPT, that's one of the favorite words that it gives. And it's like, really? Who all uses that? Maybe more people use it than I thought. But I do use that word. I want you to be able to harness that. I want you to be able to tap in that and to hold that. Okay. And last but not least, I want you to see self-regulation as a way of bridging. Okay. So y'all know my name is Bridget. So I want you to be able to bridge it. I want you to be able to see it, self-regulation, as the bridge, that sturdy bridge that's going to help you cross over. Right. So by keeping your cool, and I love to call it, my husband is like that. He's cool as a cucumber, unless you mess with his wife. If you mess with his wife, you'll see the other side of him. But any other time, he's just this mild mannered. He's a big guy, right? And so I'm always trying to get him riled up. It's a joke, because he's just like a teddy bear. He's a big old teddy bear. But he's cool as a cucumber. So some people have that natural inclination, but everybody is not like that. Some of us have to work on having that. So whatever that is, to have those, being able to set the stage for open dialogue and open communication, I need you to have the knack for keeping your emotions in check. Why? Because other people are going to be watching you as a leader. Okay. Everybody is watching you. And again, whether you lead a team or not, you're still leading yourself. And even when you're leading yourself, you are definitely being a role model for other people. You don't know when people will see it, but I promise you they will. So I just want you to imagine self-regulation, and in that way to be able to do this. Let's think of it like this: being able to sow seeds of positivity. And you want that to come out because of the fact that, again, you're able to manage yourself, your emotions. All right. So yesterday I gave some tips. I'm going to do that again. I'm sorry, I thought my phone was ringing. I'm going to do that again. I want to give you a couple really easy things that you can do. How about this? How about pause and reflect? Just pause and reflect. So if things are going wild around you, I want you to take a moment and pause. Take a moment and pause. Even cool, calm, collected people sometimes can get it, right? And so just take a moment and pause. Think about what you're feeling. Why are you feeling this? I promise you, I just had this with a client. I just had this. I'm looking at my time over here. Okay, I got a minute. Let me get up. Let me hurry up. So I just had a client, and they were on a conversation with someone, and they were having issues, and they didn't understand where the root of the matter was coming from. Once they understood that, they were like, "Oh my God, this has nothing to do with this." But being able to help them pause and think about their thinking and reflect. Another thing you can do is breathe and ground yourself. So think about your breath as an anchor. All right. Let it steady you. Keep that. Okay. Do deep, intentional breathing. And that can even be, again, we're not talking about always negative emotions. It can be the positive emotions. I told you I cried going to work for probably a good month, and I had a promotion. So I need you to understand that and do that. All right. So as we wrap up, I want you to understand. Said pause. My phone froze up. Okay, I'm sitting there watching the chat over here. My mother's in the chat talking about, I said pause and her phone froze. All right, so we're going to get out of here, but I want you to understand this. I want you to understand that self regulation is very, very important. It's a compass to you, okay? As you navigate your leadership, whether it's personal self leadership or if you're leading a team, you need it either way. You need to be able to regulate yourself. And then I want you to get a hang of this because it's going to make you be able to achieve your goals, be able to achieve your dreams, keep your values, because the most important thing is being able to regulate self. You can't regulate nobody else until you regulate self. Okay, so I know we came, some of us might have come from the generation like I did, not as I do as I say. No, we're not living at this generation right now. We want you to do what you expect other people to do. All right, so there we go. There's a couple tips for you. Oh, I forgot this. I want to say this too. Just make sure you seek the perspective. Maybe if you step back sometimes and look at the big picture, look at it from a bigger view, right? So look at the situation from all angles. Maybe look at other perspectives. Maybe your perspective might not be the right perspective, and you might be getting ready to act in emotion because you haven't looked at the whole thing. I hope that helps you. I hope that helps you because, again, I want you to dive into understanding yourself at a cellular level. Get you some EQ just as much as you have some IQ. All right. Because emotionally intelligent people are able to do some things that people with high IQs can't even do. I know I used to hire them. I wanted the people with the emotional intelligence versus the IQ. You can be smart as a whip, but have no context on how to get along with other people. And so when we talk about EQ, I'm going to back that up once because I didn't share this. I'm talking about the 5 areas of EQ: self awareness, self regulation, social skills, motivation, and what did I leave? I said social skills, and as well, making sure that you have empathy. All righty, I'm out. I'm Bridget Brown Jackson. I am the founder of Exponential Edge Adventures. Mwah! Love ya. See you later. Alligator.